Yo guys, what's up? Mad Gaz here, and for today's video I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm literally going to show you guys how I create my thumbnails for use on YouTube. You can use this for your gaming videos, for any type of videos, but basically if you're doing it for anything other than gaming, then I'll show you a different method around this. So anyway, first thing first, all I need to do is when I'm creating a thumbnail, I need to load up my video editing software, which is Sony Vegas. I have my video into the timeline, and all I need to do is you just scrub along till you find a cool shot that you want to use for the background of your thumbnail. So, okay, we need to find a cool shot. Let's just use the left and right arrows. There I am, parachuting out of a plane. Right, that's a good one. So all you need to do in Sony Vegas to capture this shot is the mouse button over near the top, near where it says snapshot of file or save copy snapshot to clipboard. So all I do is I click that, and that all that does is it copies that image on screen now, the video image, and it saves it to your clipboard so you can copy and paste it anywhere you want. So next thing you want to do is you want to go into Photoshop, which I've already preloaded up, and go to File, New. And what this is, since you've copied it to your clipboard, it automatically remembers that size of that video clip and wants to create a template based on that size. So I've got it there, 720 by 1280, which is 720p resolution, which is what I use for all my videos, and all my thumbnails are done in this resolution. So with all them resolutions and details set there, I just click OK on that. And there we have a blank screen there, and all I want to do is go to Edit, Paste, and this will paste in the image that we copied from Sony Vegas. Just click OK on that, what the hell that was. Now you notice the image looks a bit dark, it looks a bit, a bit faded, a bit light. So all I do then is I go to Image at the top here, and down to Adjustments, Auto Contrast. And instantly there you go guys, it's added a nice little bit of colour to it. That looks pretty cool, really cool, that one. So then, it still looks boring, really boring. Then all I do is I add my text. Simple as that, add my text. This is the fun part where you make it look really cool. So for my first set of text, I use a font which you can go to dafont.com and download these from. I'll put a link in the description. I use a font called Franchise for my big parts of the text. So I'm going to label this how, when I can spell correctly, god damn it, how to create a thumbnail. Now that looks absolutely pathetic. So what you want to do is double click on your text and go over to here on the right hand side. You've got your character properties, and I would set that, I would just ramp up the text size, nice text size. Now look, it's too far apart, but the text is still not on screen, but it's too far apart. So you want to go to the percentage boxes and reduce that one down so that fits on screen like that. And then you can make everything a bit smaller. You can cramp in the letters a bit more by changing the tracking on them, which I like to do, which have it a bit closer, nice and tight like that. Then you can bring your size back up again to back to 100, and then increase the size altogether, just like that. How to create a thumbnail, easy as that. Right, so it still looks bland, looks really bland. So what I would do then is right click on that text option, go down to blending options, and this is where it gets fun guys. This is why I like doing some cool stuff. So drop a shadow. You want to drop shadow? Or do you not want to drop shadow? A drop shadow makes it look cool, but I like to use the drop shadow for an extra border inside it. I'll show you next. So stroke, you put a stroke on that, gives it a nice outline, but I like to just set that, say, black, and drop that down to about 1. So it's a very fine outline around my text. Then I go to drop shadow. This is what I use the drop shadow for, to create another border around the black outline. So drop the distance down to 0. The spread can go up a bit, as well as the size. The spread, in fact, put the spread on 100% so it's a nice thick line, and drop the border down, down to whatever size you want. I'm going to drop that on at 4. Change the blend mode to normal so it doesn't blend in with the background, and the color, I'm going to change that to white. And as you see there guys, I now have a black fine outline on the inside of my text, and a nice white thick border around the outside. Now what I do is I go to gradient overlay, and now I create some cool gradients. I've already got a bunch of these saved, so I'll just create one off by heart now. And so you click on your first little pointer here, the color stop, I'm going to change that to, let's go with a nice bright green. Yeah, let's go with a bright green. We want 3 colours for this one, so we'll select one in the middle at the 40. We want to put that at exactly 50% location mark and change that colour to a nice yellow. Yes, that looks cool. And the last one here, which is the white, we shall put that a blue. There we go. Now that looks cool, but if you notice, the blue is kind of faded off to the top, and it doesn't look central to that. So you want to align it with the layer. Sorry, you click align with layer on the layer style palette and change the scale. Once you change the scale, it should change that as well. Go to there, make sure everything's fine with that. That's on there. And if you want more blue in, just adjust these little sliders just to drop in a little bit more blue. And there you go, we have more blue. So there we go, we have our simple text there created, how to create a thumbnail. It looks cool. I'm going to enlarge that text a bit more, so I'm going to highlight that and increase the size of the length of it. Say at 130%. Just so it's more readable. And that looks pretty snazzy. That looks cool. That looks really good. So what I do next is I go and take just anywhere on the screen other than on the text there. I just click on the screen and bring up another text layer, and I'll just put in YouTube tutorials. And then I want this to be a cool, like, handwritten, like, script type text. And I found this is the GTA font that I use for most of my, in fact for every one of my thumbnails now, and some effects that I use in my videos. So all this is called a Sign Painter. Sign Painter, and I drag that there. Obviously the size is way too big. I bring everything back down to 100% of its own size, and then drop the size down to maybe about 140, just like that. And it's still, it looks good, but it's not great. So what we need to do is right click on that layer, go to blending options, same again, add a stroke to that. You can just leave it with a plain stroke like that if you wanted to, which does look pretty cool. And then add a drop shadow. This is the only one where I actually leave the drop shadow as it is, because it makes it look, it just makes it stand out that little bit more, so people know it's a YouTube tutorial. And if you want, you can add a gradient overlay on top of that, but I like to leave mine white, as I find that it makes it look a bit more cleaner and people can notice it better. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'll stick a light blue and white on there, like that. So now we have our text. YouTube tutorials, how to create a thumbnail. Simple as that. Now, depending on whatever game you're using, say you're using Grand Theft Auto, what I would do is to find a Grand Theft Auto logo, I'll open up my browser, my internet browser, and the trick is for this one, what you want to do is search, for the sake of the game that we're searching on here, GTA logo, then this is the crucial part, guys, .png. So you want a PNG file, because a PNG file will show the text as it's meant to be displayed, but with no background. And there we go. We go to images, and there we have a bunch of GTA. It looks like they've got a white background there, but trust me, you click on this one, see that white one there, and you see the crosshatch, the squares, the checkered board effect. That means when you save that, right click and save that to your computer, it will have a clear background for you to use on top of your video overlays or your thumbnails. But I've already got that saved, guys, so what I'll do is I'll just reload mine up. And there we have, mine is saved there. I'll just drag that down into Photoshop. Now in Photoshop it comes into its own layer, so you want to go into the right hand side and just click it and drag into the layer behind. And you notice it's some size. It is amazing. It's huge. Just go into Edit, Free Transform. Now to keep the proportions the same so the actual logo doesn't go distorted, hold in Shift and just drag the slider down till you're happy with the size. I would say just like that. Now that's awesome. Now that, guys, is a simple way of how I create a YouTube thumbnail for my Grand Theft Auto videos. But this is not a Grand Theft Auto video, so I don't need that. I don't need that background. So what I'm going to do is I am going to add just a nice gradient effect behind that. So with the background layer selected on the right hand side, double click on that to turn it into a layer to get rid of the little padlock so you can do stuff with it. And then what you want to do is on the left hand side here, sorry I said left hand side before, it was right hand side for the layer. Left hand side, go to your gradient tool and select a gradient from the top selection that you like to use. I'm going to go with this nice yellow and pink. And then at the top, next to the gradient, along the right hand side, you have different orientations. You have it radial, diamond, or tubular. I like to use just the straightforward one, and I drag it from the top left hand corner down to the bottom right hand corner. You have that. Now, that to me, guys, looks awesome. It's really, really bright and vibrant. People can see that. They'll know what it is straight away. And add a little bit of spark into it. Same thing I did before. I look for the GTA Online logo. Just type in YouTube logo. Oh, can't spell for shit. YouTube logo, PNG. Now I want a nice big one. So just go along till you find a one that's a good size. I like the play button. Play button's cool. So I may just type in YouTube play button. There we go. First one there. That looks awesome. Save the image. Yes, we want to save that image. Go back to where it was saved. And there is our YouTube logo. Bang that in there. Obviously that'll be too big. Copy it across just like I did before the GTA logo. Do the free transform. Shift on the corners. Drag it down. You can, if needs be, you can use the right hand side here to zoom out to see your whole working area. But I don't necessarily use that all the time. And boom. There we have it. A nice YouTube logo smack bang in there. Now that looks a bit, looks okay. So what I'm going to do now is blend in options onto this, add a drop shadow onto it, and an outline of black. You don't want no gradient overlay on that. A bevel emboss to make it look like a button. Soften it up a bit. Now that looks like a proper YouTube button there now. Change the depth a bit. Change the shadow depth. And there we have what I would say is a pretty simple and effective thumbnail to use for your videos. So simply follow this tutorial, guys, to make some cool logos, some cool thumbnails, and get some cool text up there and some cool gradients and nice colors shown, so people will be vividly looking at your videos and go, wow, that looks cool. I'm going to click it. I'm going to watch it. And if you like this video, guys, please stick a like on it. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, stick a comment down below, and until next time, peace.